All right, Panther fans. Stu has something. He's hiding it from us right now, just like the Panthers hid it for 4 games. Stu's got his victory cigar.
Good to be
Yeah,
smoking it.
yeah, absolutely. We just can't have nice things. We just can't have nice freaking things. The team starts off undefeated. We're top of the world, and we lose our coach. And both times, obviously against the Canes, it was 4-0. We lose Lombard for the game. It's not the same, but kind of tainted things. But this last night, it's 4-0, and we lose Barkov, and you just sucked all the life out of everybody.
Devastating. Yeah, the one fear that I had was losing Barkov.
Right. Well, the good news is, other than the fact that the puppets say it's only going to be 3 weeks, the good
That what
news,
they said?
Yeah, the puppets told me 3 weeks. That they said it last night. But when the guys went to the locker room, Barkov was walking around, didn't have a brace, didn't have any crutches or anything like that, and I forget who it was. One of the players said it was good to see him walking around. It doesn't look like it's as bad as we thought it would be.
Oh, really?
I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, I saw that. Either Olive or Richards tweeted that out. One of the guys tweeted that out post game when I was going to upload the video. I saw that. He was up walking around without any assistance. So,
okay. Well, hopefully it's just soreness.
Yeah, look, when it pops out and back in like that, it wasn't. His skate gave way a little bit. You know what I mean? So I think his skate gave way just enough for it to be more of a strain than an actual rupture.
All right,
We'll
see what happens.
Doctor, but that's what I saw anyway in my own lay, massage therapy world. That's what I saw. Is that?
Do you remember a few weeks ago we talked about this knee on knee, and I brought up the injury to Doughty, and then the Tom Wilson flagrant sticking the leg out. These penalties, I mean, these are intent to injure penalties.
Right.
And obviously Barkov has a big target on his head, always does. I mean, look at what happened last game when they mugged him, on the
from behind, basically.
Loose Duranen goal, that point shot from Ekblad. So, I'm sure we're all hoping and praying that the injury is not serious, because that would be devastating. But I'm just, it was definitely a major penalty, and he got punished, but big deal. That's worthy of a suspension. Whenever a player does that, and a player receives an injury like that where he's out multiple games, to me that should be a minimum 5-game suspension, and that will send a message to the players that you can't do that.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing about knee on knee is you can hurt yourself just as easily as you can hurt the other guy.
You deserve to be injured.
Yeah, I mean, the point being is it's a pretty low tactic to actually try to hurt. It's one thing you're roughing somebody and you shove them into the boards, but going for an athlete's knee in any sport, purposely going after an athlete's knee, there should be some things that like you're boxing. You don't see guys punching each other in the nuts. You know what I mean?
That play has no place in hockey. Same thing with an elbow or a shoulder to the head. That's intent to injure.
Yeah.
And I think these guys should have more respect for each other, knowing that it could be them next.
Yeah. So, all right. So we got that. I hope there's 3 weeks. We talked about this a little bit with the lineup. Basically, your centers are going to be Bennett and Lundell, and then Luosterainen, and then who knows? Somebody mentioned, bringing up Saron Noel. Okay, if Joe's not ready, we obviously know Achari's not there, and Marchment's not healthy. We're gonna have to bring somebody up.
Well, don't forget, we have Reinhardt.
I thought about that, but yeah,
He played center when Eichel went out. So if
right.
need be, we can always, use him. My thinking, and I said it to you last night, and I don't know why they don't at least try it. Put Lundell up on the first line. With,
I agree. Yeah.
I personally, it really doesn't matter right now. I mean, they put Bennett up there, which you disagreed with me, but I told you I thought that was a good move because it reunites Bennett and Huberdeau, who have chemistry.
Right.
But you know what line I'd like to see? Lundell with Verhaeghe and Duclair.
Okay.
Because the kid is so smart.
Right.
He's such a good playmaker. And then, of course, you got these two wingers. You got Duclair's speed. I mean, Verhaeghe's got speed too, but Verhaeghe, he knows where to find the net. And then you got on your second line, then you got your Bennett, Huberdeau, and Tippett.
Okay.
And then on the third line, you got Luosterainen with Vetrano and
Hornquist. Hornquist? No, pick.
Yeah, I guess.
The way Hornquist has been playing.
And then you got Lomberg. See, I'm losing track of guys.
Right, Lomberg. And we need guys. Now we're gonna have to bring somebody up, because with Marchment hurt.
Yeah, I'd like to see Noel come up.
Yeah, I mean somebody's gonna have to come up.
We're both big on him, but it might be somebody else.
Well, it just depends on what they want to do with Reinhardt. If they're going to put Reinhardt, and all of it depends on how long we're talking about. Are we talking about 3 weeks? Are we talking about 5 games, 10 games, 15?
I don't know. Like I said, let's see what happens. I 110% agree, and I agree. I'm the big proponent of not sending any of our players to the Olympics.
Right.
For sure, 110%. There's no way that you send Barkov to the Olympics.
No way. This is now 2 injuries already this season. So I mean, somebody just fly my ass down there. I will block the plane myself. Okay, I'll be on the news. Naked crazy man blocks plane with puppets on the tarmac. I don't care. Okay, don't let him get on the plane.
All right, so listen, these are secondary subjects. Let's talk about the game because this video is a game review. Super impressed and happy that, from opening puck drop, these guys came out with on a mission. Right. Talk about a stop the bleeding game. This was it. This was sending a message to the league that, okay, we lost 4. 2 out of the 4 were OT games. Could have gone either way. Ekblad scores. We beat Tampa. Plenty of chances in the the Pittsburgh game where we lost.
Well, the Pittsburgh game we had won if it wasn't for a half-inch offsides.
Yeah, all right, but it happened.
Yeah,
so 4-0 lead. I said it to you at the time. This is Carolina all over again.
Right.
You give Bob a 4-goal lead the way he's playing, you win the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Bob played. Bob played great.
As well. The Islanders weren't exactly offensively active last night. You know what I mean?
But we got lucky. Talk about puck luck. They hit 2 posts.
So, they hit a couple posts.
Yeah, they don't hit the post. It changes the momentum.
Yeah. There wasn't any point in time last night, and maybe it was because of Barkov's injury after that happened, where he was focused on that. It wasn't like with the Canes when they made it 4-2, it was kind of like, this, you know what I mean? But there wasn't that point last night where at any point, as much as the announcers wanted it to be a game, it just wasn't there.
Yeah, we'll save that for later on.
Yeah.
But in fact, there was really no mention that fourth line got 2 goals.
Right.
Lombard and Hornquist, which was like,
that Hornquist goal.
I mean, he had listen, first of all, he's a righty shot coming out of that, that left corner.
Yeah.
So, his stick was facing the net. There's only one way to go, and that's upstairs.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times I have to say it. Most of the goals that are scored now are top shelf. Lomberg was right under the bar.
Well, if you watch the replay on the Hornquist goal, the goalie actually moves his head out of the way because it was going to hit him in the face. And I'm not saying he should have let the puck hit him in the face, but if he doesn't move, it's not a goal. He moved his head. Yeah, but
it's just human,
right.
It's just human reaction.
Yeah. No, there's absolutely no doubt about that. I would have done the same thing. I think most of us would have done the same thing. Maybe Tuukka Rask and Patrick Waugh stand there, and maybe Brodeur stands there and just lets the puck hit him in the face like that. Maybe.
But
maybe.
what was the text they sent you right after that?
What you
Remember?
mean when you said that they were going to switch goalies?
No. What I
Which one?
said was that's what happens when you shoot the puck on net.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Just shoot it and you never know what happens. That's
Yep.
why I get incensed at the power play,
Right.
because I mean, maybe the players are not seeing what we're seeing from up above.
Right.
But it seems to me when that puck goes out to the point that, they have an opportunity to shoot and maybe they feel like the lanes are clogged up, but shoot it on net anyway. You never know. You get a deflection from, maybe not from Hornquist right in front, but maybe
Right.
you get a deflection off the defenseman.
Right.
Or maybe
Right.
you get a deflection from somebody, in between the face-off dots.
Who's been doing
Just shoot it,
that?
shoot
I
it.
think it's Forsling that comes in every so often, and he'll shoot like that soft shot towards the net to try and get a deflection. He's not trying to beat the goalie with his shot. You can tell he's just getting it on net in that direction to see what happens. I believe that's Forsling. I've seen him
Forsling
do.
played another solid game last night. He's just so dependable.
Yep.
On the defensive end. On the offensive end, most of the time he goes in and he just, he shoots it around the boards.
Right.
I'd like to see him attack more on those opportunities. I saw at least two of them where he had a couple other players on his right side where he could have gone in and
Right.
Barzell is such a great player because you'll see him go full steam and then all of a sudden he'll stop on a dime.
Right.
And the defenseman blows past him. So I'd like to see something like that from Forsling. But
so
anyway.
The other thing is, and I'm gonna let you have the floor here. so just get it out. Just get it out now. Owen Tippett missing breakaways and open shots. Just go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's been game in and game out that he has his opportunities and he's blowing them.
Right.
Good goal scorers have a way of scoring goals.
Yep.
And between the missed shots, I mean, in the shootout, sorry.
It's okay. That's
in the shootout. The last shoot, it was weak. I mean, why even bother having him take a shootout? I mean, I'd rather see Vetrano go in. But
that was that weird night where all three guys.
And bringing Vetrano up, I mean, let's compare him to Tippett.
Right.
Vetrano is not bashful about shooting.
Right.
In fact, Vetrano rarely passes. When he has an opportunity to shoot, he shoots.
Right.
And again, when he shoots, a lot of the time good things happen. Case in point, the goal that he scored last night.
Right.
The defenseman was pretty much right in front of him. Tippett's not doing that.
Right.
And I don't know whether it's a confidence thing or he thinks he's Jonathan Huberdeau, but Tippett has opportunities game in, game out, where he has a chance to shoot that wrist shot and he's not taking it. And the breakaways, he's had a number of breakaways and he hasn't scored on one.
Right.
So, we can agree to disagree. I'm not seeing anything from him. I'm sorry.
Well, I watched his two-way game. It's the same thing I was saying last year. I think that because he's supposed to be a scorer, that the rest of his two-way game is completely underrated. I wish there was we had the ability to have a camera on every player, then go back and watch the coach's film. We could go back and watch that player all night long. The dude is just constantly stealing the puck. And I mean, the couple of breakaways that Huberdeau and Bennett had, the one where they buried it and the one where they screwed it up, those were both off of Tippett steals. And
right, but we have him there to score goals, Eric.
I understand
great
that,
that he's got the defensive game, and I'm all for that. But again, let's just focus on the offense, and that's where he's falling short. So that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say on that matter. Like I said, we're not going to agree on everything, and it's good that we have this debate.
Right.
because that's a healthy thing. So, comments.
Yeah.
Listen,
No. Hey, look,
guys that are watching this, I'd like to hear your thoughts and see, let's see what the rest of the fans say about that
Right.
situation.
Right. All right. So then we had Connaughton back in last night.
Love it.
That was a palpable difference. And then I'm not sure what the time on. I didn't look at the time on ice last night. Obviously, everything got. I noticed that they were double shifting Lundell. It looked like he was centering that fourth line as well. So that's pretty good to see.
I'd really like to see him. I'd really like to see him on the top line, just to
Right,
see
yeah.
what he can do. I mean, you've called him Barkov 2.0. I think he's Lundell 1.0, but I'd love to see him with Verhaeghe and Duclair and see what they can do.
Yeah, no
That
disagreement.
keeps Bennett and Huberdeau together.
Exactly.
So you either have, Tippett up there, or you put Reinhardt on the right wing,
right.
or you have Reinhardt centering the third line.
Well,
There's a lot of pieces that Burnett can move around,
yeah,
and experiment with in practice.
yeah.
And I think we're getting Thornton back, so maybe Thornton can be, back to the fourth line center. Lusterainen, can't say enough good things about that.
Yeah.
So we have him as a center. Maybe he centers the third line.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yep.
I mean, Bennett, Huberdeau, and Reinhardt, I think would be a good line. And then you move Tippett down to the third line with Lusterainen, Vetrano, and Tippett. And then you got Thornton, Blumberg, and again, I'm missing another player.
Well, Marchman is hurt.
Right.
Yeah, Lomberg.
Well, we have Mammon.
Mammon,
I don't think they're going to play around with Mammon, sending him down if they could send him down. I mean, we brought him back, because we thought that he would be, contributing. Yeah. Obviously, we haven't seen much from him. So
I think the player you were leaving out was Hornquist.
There you go. Okay. So all right, there you go.
Right. Well, because when you make your top nine, you just assume Hornquist is there, but he's not.
Yeah, Thornton, Lomberg, and Hornquist. There's your fourth line. That fourth line has been great.
Yeah.
Great. Love it. Last night was awesome.
Right. Well, that's kind of what I said about last night was, with the players that we have, we talked about this even before Barkov's injury. It's like you could put all these players you could put their names on dice into a Yahtzee cup and shake them out and roll out 3 at a time and be like, screw it, send that's a line. It's hard to, as long as you've kind of got a center, you can mix and match so many of these players in different positions where it's kind of hard to think about that would be a bad line. Where in the past, the Panthers have had plenty of players that we could, by the time you get to the third line, you're like, okay, if you say so.
Well, that's the difference between teams in the past and this team.
Right.
We have the depth. We anybody can step up and do it.
Right.
We have 4 really good lines, and if Burnett sticks to rolling those lines and not shorten the bench at the end of the game, I mean, Q was very strict, sticking to his game plan.
Yeah. That's one thing I talked about last night with, trying to find just a blessing in disguise here with Barkov. If it's just a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, maybe this is going to kind of force Brunette to even out the ice time between the lines a little bit, because he can't throw Barkov out there for 25, 27 minutes. So maybe if he gets that rolling and he has the experience of that working for him, maybe when Barkov comes back, he's been hurt a couple of times. Let's give him 21 minutes, not 25, 26.
If Q was coaching, Lundell would be the guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Q was, so high on Lundell and what he could do. He was having him out there, on the PK. He was having him out there. I really was hoping, and I didn't see it, to have Lundell replace somebody on the power play.
Right.
They need to shake up that power play. Let's address that. The power play is horrible. I mean, on that 5-minute major, I don't even know if we got a shot. Then we took a penalty, and that was the end of that.
Right.
But the power play, something needs to be done. And I got news for you. Ekblad ain't doing the job as the quarterback. So
No,
you either put Uyghur up there or you put Forsling up there. But
I know,
even
right,
Montour, I got news for you. Montour would be a better option at this point. At this
right,
point, I mean, Ekblad gets the puck, and the first thing he's looking to do is that damn back pass.
right. Yeah, no, I know. But don't you feel like I said, when I watch the development camp, they're teaching them the back pass. The kids are doing the back pass. So don't. But the question is, don't you think that's coaching and not just Ekblad out there doing it on his own? That's
I
my, you know what I mean?
I hate it. Just like
Right.
I hate the shootout. I hate that back pass.
Yeah. No, I agree
Because
with you.
the teams know it's coming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they just jam up the blue line.
Right.
And
You
then
just,
they're forced to throw it in and dump and chase.
yeah, but then
And
you just
it all
right,
depends on who wins the board battle. So
right.
I think that and the other thing is we're last in the league in faceoffs.
We're last in the league in faceoffs. You mean
31st.
you mean
31st.
on 5 on 5? Not, you're not talking about power play, special
Yeah,
teams.
well, it doesn't matter. 5-on-5 power play, those faceoffs are crucial in the offensive
Last,
zone. I somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
last. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Oh, I can't minimize that.
We got to be at the bottom of the pile.
Let me just see. I'll just real quick see if I can.
Just type in faceoffs.
Yeah,
Faceoff
NHL
percentage.
face-off rankings.
There you
They're
go.
gonna go. They're giving me the individuals. Here's the team face-off win percentage. All right, let me see this. All right, let's see. It's actually a fantasy website, and let's see. Where's Florida? They have it in alphabetical order here. Let's see. The Panthers. No, we are definitely not last. We are at
Okay.
we are at 50.2%.
Okay. I stand corrected.
And there's a bunch of teams 48, 44,
All right.
46.
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
They need
Well,
improvement. Let's put it
let
that
me
way.
see.
And,
I mean, I'm
and
looking
don't
at
forget.
it. We're kind of in the middle.
All right.
Actually, we're maybe in the top.
I
We're
know
definitely
there
in
was
the, yeah.
there was something that they said we ranked 31st.
Right.
So
right.
I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
don't forget we're missing Achari.
Yeah. No, I know.
Who's one of our top, if not our top, face-off guys.
Yeah.
So and when Achari seems to be lost in every conversation we had. There's a player that does a lot.
Oh, I mentioned it last night in the recap when I was making the lines. I was like, "Is Joe ready?" And boy, do we miss Atari, because that's the Swiss Army knife. We could put him. Remember Barkov? Remember last time Barkov got hurt? That was Achari center in the top line. You know what I mean?
So I don't know when he's coming back, but we certainly miss him. And again, we miss Marchman.
No doubt.
Now we see how important of a player he is with him not in the lineup.
Right. Yeah. Well, we came into the season knowing we had all this depth, and boy, are we using it. we are testing it. That is for sure. So,
well, listen, the key is we have Bobrovsky playing like the Vezina Trophy winner.
Yeah, let's not leave that
he has been, and he's still undefeated in regulation.
Yeah, he's better than he was in Columbus right now. He's so much.
He only gave up one goal last night.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'll take him giving up one goal. Maybe two, if we get four.
Yeah.
Minimum of four. I mean, like I said, the offense has to score a minimum of 4 goals a game.
Well, it takes the pressure off.
We can do it. We've done it almost every game.
Right.
And as long as we're doing that, we're going to win games. I would imagine we're back to being number 1 in the league in goals scored.
Right.
And especially 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Well, we have the best offense, hands down.
Horrible.
What's that?
I said it would have to be number 1 5-on-5 because the power play ain't helping us. That's for damn sure.
No, we're definitely number 1 5-on-5.
Yeah. And I think we were there last year too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we're back to the power play real quick. It's like you've got like the Swedish bikini model team in front of you, and you can't pick one you want to date. How hard can it be? How hard can it be with this much talent and with the differences in the talent? How hard can it be to devise even a halfway decent power play? Doesn't have to be great. Give me what's a halfway decent power play? Is that 15, 20%? Is that, I mean,
No, no,
what
at least 25%.
25%. But the point being is like how hard can it be with this group of guys? Because
Yeah,
you've got
well, the big problem is they're not getting set up and cycling.
right.
They're having trouble getting it in the zone and established.
Those guys should just be forced to watch the Tampa Bay power play on, and that should be the whole coaching session, is just get
Carolina,
in the room, lock
Carolina's
in the room,
got a
right,
great power play.
and just watch what they do.
They
Because
do. What they do is they move it around quickly and then they shoot. They find
right,
a guy and he shoots.
yeah,
And again, last night, Huberto, same position.
right.
I instead of passing, let's just have one game where
One
every
game.
time he gets it in that position, he shoots.
And
Instead of looking to back pass to Ekblad. And again, the secret to the success of last year's power play is they had Ekblad in the Stamkos Ovechkin spot.
Right.
You know, on that left side, right at the top of that
Right.
face-off
The
dot.
top of the dot,
And
right.
it's Huberto there instead of Ekblad. I think, they need to move it around. And I don't understand if it's not working,
Right.
why don't they move things around, move the players on the chessboard
Right.
and get an Ekblad back in that spot for his, Ekblast.
Well, we
And
should
you got
go.
Hornquist in front, and things happen when he's in front.
Yeah.
So
No.
that's all I'll say on that.
All right.
We
So-
didn't really have, I don't know whether we got one penalty, maybe two yesterday. So,
Right.
the PK really wasn't a factor.
Yeah, and one of them was during that 5-minute major anyway.
Yeah, the defense played good last night. I thought Ekblad Uyghur had a decent game. Love that shot that Gudis
The Gudis,
did
yeah.
on Brock Nelson, and he just leveled them.
Right.
But,
Right.
good to see Connaughton back in there.
Yep. Yep.
Loving what Montour's doing.
And Thursday we get Billy and Randy back. Thank God.
Oh yeah.
Thank God. It
Yeah,
is.
so let's talk about ESPN because
Yeah.
I must have tweeted at least 3 or 4, and I tagged ESPN on there.
Yeah.
This was the worst,
Oh, yeah.
worst broadcast job that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
For them to be talking about the Islanders all night long, when right in front of them, the Panthers, the best team. All right, maybe not.
Oh, by points. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
number one. Let's not
yeah.
say the best. We think we're the best team, but let's just say the league leader
Right.
in points, and they're not talking about how they came out and scored 4 goals and totally dominated the game. They're
Nope.
talking about the Islanders and their new arena, and they've been on the road 13. And
Yeah, I
screw
know.
that.
It was bad.
They're getting their ass handed to them, and all they keep talking about is the Islanders when they should be focused on how great the Panthers are this season. How
Yeah.
Bobrovsky's been
Yeah.
playing great.
Right.
How we
right.
have the best offense. So that's
Right,
it.
it was bad. And then when we made it 5-0, they even they even said the woman mentioned something about the energy on the Panthers bench is there, but the stands it's not really that loud. But where it will be loud is in New York. And that was it. That was like the whole goal. It was awful, and you just kept waiting for them to like become self-aware and like even pretend to try and even it out. But they never did. They never
Well,
did.
I was sending those tweets out during the game and including ESPN. So I'm figuring maybe the director or maybe somebody is
Right.
on the headset telling these guys, all right, cool it.
No, look, I
Stop
did the
talking
same-
about the
right.
Islanders.
I did
And,
the same thing, and a lot of people, I don't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry, but a lot of people on Twitter, I only scrolled for maybe a couple of minutes when I was getting ready to post the video. And like 90% of what I was seeing were other fans just like us, but so it wasn't just us. That's the point I'm trying to make, is they were, all I saw were people just absolutely incensed. It was, and I guess somebody said that she does the Islanders games. Is it her or one of the other guys? It's like, actually, it's like if we had a national crew and it was like Jessica was in the booth and she was supposed to be neutral.
Yeah, I just wanted a barf last night, and then and then it passed that point, and I was just, incensed, and just, I don't know how many more games we have on ESPN, but quite frankly, I've had enough. I don't need to see them on national TV anymore, unless it's the NHL Network.
Right. Well, I think
where you have,
3 or 4,
where you have better announcers, better play-by-play, better commentators. So listen, it is what it is. The game's over. We won it. We got 25 points. I watched highlights this morning. Looks like the Rangers are at 23 points.
Wow.
They're looking good.
Yeah.
Watch out for the Rangers.
Right.
I think Carolina won last night. Who'd they play? Vegas. I think they played Vegas last night.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, there's some good teams, and then there's some it's a little bit top and bottom heavy, a little bit more than I anticipated at this point in the season. There's some teams like you mentioned with the Rangers and Panthers that are also
LA,
really good starts, and then there's some teams that are off to some really bad starts. It's usually it's a little bit more, even, you know what I mean? But look, we're still in first place, and we got the Devils Thursday. What's your sense? When do you think we'll see Spencer Knight again?
I don't know. Bob's the hot hand. I keep, I keep riding that horse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We have the back-to-back next week. The week, I think it's the day after Thanksgiving. We have
Friday, well, he's got to get
Saturday.
A game in. We got Jersey and then Philly, and I think he lost. Did he lose both games?
Well, it was the Jersey game.
I know he lost the Devils game. I put him back in against the Devils, but
yeah, that's what Frank was saying yesterday in the live stream. Clearly they're not, they're off of the 2 games for Bob, 1 for Knight routine. That was the plan, but maybe they'll get back to that. Knight needs to get out there and just have a good showing. Just have a 2 goal or less. We won the game. Just get his head back into, all right, I'm good. Just like the 4-game losing streak. You know what I mean? Just to kind of be like, all right, that was an anomaly. That's not who we are. That's not who Knight is. So
another factor in the game. Well, let's just take the Devils game. Knight has a 4-goal lead. He's a different goalie.
Well, yeah.
we didn't score. We didn't score in the first period. We didn't get 2-3 goals as a cushion for him.
Right.
Again, it's always, the goalies are a lot looser.
Sure.
And a lot more confident when they have at least a 2, maybe 3-goal cushion.
Yeah, sure. Because
we get 4 goals. Bob's in net, and we get 4 goals, 5 goals. He's winning that game.
Yep. Every time. All right, bud. All right. So we will be back Friday morning after another 2 points against the Devils, because we've got, including last night, we've got 8 of the next 9 at home. And hopefully we find out about Barkov sooner than later. Maybe we know something by the time this video comes out. And
what I'd like to see us win the next 3 games.
Right.
Devils, Flyers, and I think we got Minnesota on Saturday night.
I believe that. Well, no, that's too many games. That's too many for that. Thursday is the Devils. Then that would be Saturday is the Flyers. And then I think Minnesota's next week.
Let me look real quick. Let me look real quick at the schedule. Okay, so we have We have Jersey tomorrow,
Right.
Minnesota on Saturday,
On
and then we
Saturday.
got the Flyers on Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think good call, and let Spencer Knight play against the doubles. I think that would be the best thing. But we'll see what happens.
Yep,
All right, bud. Good talking to you. I will see you again
always.
on the next one.
All right.